March 26th, 2020. We got a plan. These two trees, they need to come down. A storm came through here probably, I don't know, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, something like that. Snapped the top of the trees off. This one has big, nasty, dead limbs and a rotten part. This other one over here that I already cut down was even worse. It had a diverging trunk, and the things were just waiting for a good windstorm to snap and hit the house. I want to do something cool with this area. I want to make a little Asian tropical garden right here. I'm gonna put a little, I'm gonna put a big heavy log up across the top of those to do like that little Japanese, I don't know what you call that thing. It's got two vertical posts and one horizontal post sitting on top of it. They're normally curved on top. I don't have a curved log, so it's gonna have to be straight. Got this giant log. It's not giant, it's pretty big though. It's about 24 inches across. It's 10-foot long, super heavy. Before I pulled that top piece off, I don't know, I'm guessing it weighed around 1,000 pounds. The top slab I pulled off of there, I just moved it into the barn. It probably weighed about 300 pounds. So yeah, this thing probably weighs 2.5 times that. So it's probably 600 or 700 pounds, somewhere in there. Super heavy, but we got to get it up there. That's about 12 foot up there. So we're going to use some ropes and some pulleys and make it happen. All right, this is my pulley system. It is a 10-to-1. It's a 10-to-1. I've got these pulleys that I bought from Amazon. I've got one real Petzl pulley. What I don't have is any Prusik mining pulleys. I really wish I had a Prusik mining pulley, because I'm using a Prusik up there as a progress capture, so that whenever I raise this thing up, it will hold it, you know, at the height that I raise it up to. And normally, if you have a good pulley, they're Prusik minding, which means the pulley mines the Prusik itself, and you don't have to reset the Prusik yourself every single time. But I'm gonna have to do that. Anyway, these carabiners these pulleys that I bought from Amazon, they were really cheap. I don't remember how much they cost, but they seem like they're good quality, but they're Amazon. I mean, I would not use them for climbing unless I was going to back them up with a carabiner just to make sure, just in case they fail. But for this, they'll be fine. So I've got it about 5 or 6 foot up now, and the going's getting real slow because the pulleys don't have very far to travel before they run into each other. But I just realized something, and I think I'm going to change my technique up. So I can push this end up. In fact, that's real easy. So I think I'm going to tie another rope to the top of the tree. I'll pull that end up, then I'll flip-flop, and I'll pull this end up, and I'll just kind of walk the ends of the tree up. Well, now that I've got two raising systems going out at once, that means I only have half as many pulleys for each one. So I wasn't able to create a 10-to-1, which means I can't raise it by hand. So I had to resort to using the come along. But it's moving though, moving really good. All right, so I got it up about as high as I could get it using that method that I was. And since I can't go any higher, I decided it's time to go ahead and start flipping it over. I didn't want to flip it yet, but I think it'll be fine. I had these pieces of tubular steel that I'm using to create a high redirect point up there. Okay, so that was the limit of my pulley advance. Pulley's maxed out up there. So for this last little bit, oh, there's the shovel. I'm using this ratchet strap. That's pulling it up here a little bit, kind of pulling it into the stump. So I got to create a little bit of lift. She's coming. Got this side up, pulling this side home. I'll have some logs in there so I can roll it side to side because it's not going to be centered up. Well, there's the Tory. It's not a Tory. It's just a couple logs thrown together. But the Tory was the inspiration. It came out okay. I could have cut the log a little straighter, a little better. Now I just got to get some big lag bolts and angle brackets and bolt that thing up there so it doesn't move. Started work on the, we'll call it a Pacific tropical garden. I'm trying to stick with plants that if you jumped on a sailboat and sailed around the Pacific and hit up all the islands and stuff, all the countries around the Pacific, that you could get that kind of an impression, you know. So I've got some Chinese wind palms. I used to think that these things were South American because you always see them outside Mexican restaurants, but they're Chinese. They're Chushan Chinese windmill palms. And then cordyline, which grows in Asia, has a nice tropical look to it. I got my cold hardy kiwi. What else? I got some elephant ears, and I got some cold hardy banana trees coming, so those would be cool. I got some hibiscus. My wife wants to plant hibiscus, I think on the other side of the house, but I think we'll try and do it here since we're sticking with the Pacific stuff over here. Yeah, coming along.